Welcome to Racing X, and today we're counting down our picks for the best racing games that you should check out. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Need for Speed Heat. Now, this game isn't the newest kid on the block, but let's be real, it's still pulling a bigger crowd than Unbound. Why? Because it actually nailed what fans wanted. Great cars, fun racing mechanics, and a Miami-inspired city glowing like a neon fever dream. Not only that, but the vibrant aesthetic also screams Fast and Furious, and honestly, that's the point. It's pure arcade street racing fun. None of that overly realistic nonsense slowing things down. So yeah, if you just want to drift around corners, customize your ride, and outrun the law under purple skies, then this is the game. Trackmania. Okay, although this game might seem like a racing game, it's actually catered more towards speedrun-oriented players than traditional racing fans. But still, it has that arcade racing vibes due to the physics and simple and easy-to-learn gameplay. In short, it's all about executing the right inputs at the right time alongside the obsession of perfecting every track and beating records. So yeah, the gameplay mechanics are different compared to most arcade racers, but if you enjoy simple racing games and haven't checked out the Trackmania series, you definitely should. There's a high chance you'll like them. The Crew Motorfest. Alright, now this is the latest The Crew game, and in my opinion, it has the best graphics. And just like the previous game, boats and planes are back, although they're not the most popular aspect of the game. And yeah, there are also playlists in this game, which are basically handcrafted race events that are fun if you love games with objectives. Anyway, this game will only appeal to certain players. If you love structured, fun, but somewhat repetitive content, you'll probably enjoy it. Basically, this is your typical Ubisoft open-world game with tons of objectives and missions.
Record breaker, the Mercedes record wagon.
Green flag, green flag.
Le Mans Ultimate. Now this one is the new kid on the block. And like any new kid, it's desperately trying to prove it belongs. But does it dethrone the old kings? Not yet, but it does have killer VR that'll make you forget you're just sitting in your room wearing a headset, looking like you reject reality. And yeah, it's built for endurance racing, which means if you're allergic to long races, you might bail early. But for open-minded players willing to give this one a shot, this could earn a permanent spot in your collection, assuming you survive the learning curve, of course.
I do out here today.
Need for Speed Unbound. Alright, now this one has the most unique visuals the series has ever pulled off with its anime-style, cel-shaded effects slapped onto hyper-realistic cars. It's bold, it's flashy, and it actually works, unless you're one of those fans who automatically hates whatever's new. Yeah, you know the drill. Complain now, then in a few years, call it underrated the moment the next game drops. However, underneath all the drama, this game actually delivers solid arcade street racing with style for days. So yeah, if you can get past the internet's collective mood swings, you might actually enjoy this one. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Turbocharged. Now, this one is currently the go-to toy car racing game out there. And yes, toy car racing is its own genre, which I'll make a video about later. Anyway, the first game was already great and fun, and this one is bigger and better in almost every way. Plus, it's a Hot Wheels game, and I love Hot Wheels games no matter how bad they are. So yeah, I'm totally biased here. So overall, if you're into fun arcade racing games with toy cars or mini cars, this one, along with the first game, is a must-have. Assetto Corsa Competizione. Okay, this one is a fantastic sim racer with tight handling, laser scan tracks, and VR that's buttery smooth if your PC is built by NASA. But the problem? It's forever stuck in the shadow of the original Assetto Corsa, which basically turned into the modding playground of the gods. Not only that, but this one also focuses solely on GT racing, so it's a bit more niche, and that keeps some players from jumping ship entirely. But if you're into serious, no-nonsense GT competition and want VR that makes you feel like you're actually strapped in, this game absolutely delivers.
Water splash. Into 6 left of the crest.
EA Sports WRC. Now, this game is basically Dirt Rally 2.0's younger, flashier cousin. You know, the one that hits the gym, dresses better, but also eats way more GPU for breakfast. Yeah, it's more demanding on your system, but the payoff is worth it. Better visuals, more detail, and a rally experience that just looks gorgeous in motion. And here's the thing, most of the bad reviews aren't even about the gameplay, so you're good there. So yeah, underneath all that noise, you've got one of the most solid modern rally sims out there, provided your PC doesn't burst into flames first. Need for Speed Underground 2. Now, if you're a 90s kid like me, chances are you played this back in its heyday if you were into racing games. I mean, this game was the shit back then. Everyone was playing this game non-stop and racing each other. First off, it was the first Need for Speed game with an open world setting. Not only that, but the game was super addictive, especially when you were trying to win races to upgrade or customize your cars while jamming to those banger soundtracks. And the great thing is, it's still totally playable, even today.
I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game.
Need for Speed Most Wanted. 1 year after Underground 2 was released, we got this game, which is similar to Underground 2, but now it's set in the daytime and the streets are filled with cops. But overall, people who enjoyed Underground 2 also enjoyed this one. However, the customization is a bit simpler, though the variety of cars is wider. But you know what? The biggest selling point of this game is the police chases themselves. I mean, it's really fun being chased by multiple cops and trying to escape in a fast car. Makes you feel like an action movie star, you know? Midnight Club, Los Angeles. Now, this game was famous back then for its atmosphere, customization, and soundtrack, which says a lot about Rockstar Games' reputation. And if you've lived in LA, been to LA, or are just curious about what it's like, then this game is your perfect choice since it captures the city vibe so well. Not only that, not many games let you race through heavy traffic in an open-world setting like this one. However, the game was never ported to PC, but luckily it's available on modern Xbox consoles, so definitely check it out if you can. Night Runners. Prologue. Now, this one is an early access free-to-play indie game that takes you deep into the underground scene of Japanese street racing set between 1990 and 2009. In this hidden gem, you'll join local street racing crews and fight for control over territories and establish dominance. And just like many street racing games, you'll engage in high-stakes wager races, face off against rival crews, and customize your cars. And as you can see, the game is very similar to the beloved Underground games. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you're a fan. F125. Alright, this one isn't just a step up, it's a full-on upgrade in almost every way, and we're not even comparing it to the disaster that was F124. We're talking about surpassing the already well-loved F123. With this game, the handling's sharper, the AI's smarter, and the whole thing just feels more alive. And normally, you'd wait for an F1 game to hit the bargain bin before diving in, but this is one of those rare times where it's worth jumping in while it's hot. So yeah, jump in before the hype cools off. Wreckfest. Now, this one is the current go-to when it comes to physics-based combat racing, also known as banger racing in some countries. And if you're wondering why it feels like Flat Out but with better physics, it's because the dev behind this game is the same one who made the classic Flat Out titles. So yeah, apparently they've mastered the art of making games where you drive cars and slam into each other to win. And I've gotta say, the car damage is super satisfying to watch, especially when you manage to win with a car that's barely holding together. Project Cars 2. Now this one is also one of the most legendary games in racing simulation history, and it shows in the gameplay. And just so you know, this game used to be the hot shit, but it was basically killed off by whoever owns the IP just so they could push the newer, more arcade-like successor, which is Project Cars 3. However, you can still get it if you're familiar with a certain fit girl who loves to repack things. Or maybe you'll find it on some sites that sell Steam keys, though I can't guarantee they're safe.
Keep middle of a jump to keep middle of a big jump. 100.
Dirt Rally 2.0. Okay, this game isn't for the faint-hearted or those with a short fuse. This simulator demands precision. Make one mistake, and your entire time trial effort can be lost in an instant. In this game, you'll spend hours on tracks that should only take minutes, all just to nail a single flawless run. Every corner needs to be executed perfectly, and even the launch off the line will require numerous restarts. So, if you're ready for a true test of skill and patience, or if you're a jobless basement dweller with too much free time, then this game is definitely worth a look.
Into 4 left. Tightens it.
Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. Okay, this one's actually my favorite kart racing game of all time. I love it so much that I kinda got really good at it, you know? So good that I almost never lose to my friends, unless they cheat, of course. Anyway, this game has the best and most fun combat mechanics out of all the modern kart racers, better than Mario Kart, I'd say. And honestly, I think it's one of the best games for a good old-fashioned couch multiplayer session, assuming you've still got friends to play with, that is. Ride 5. Alright, this one isn't as realistic as Ride 4, and if you loved it for its realistic approach, you might not like this one. However, since this one is better in almost every way and combines a more forgiving riding experience, I would say that if you're new to the series, this one is an obvious choice. And if you have a friend, a real one I might add, the split screen mode is back in this game, so you're good there. In short, if you're a hardcore player, get Ride 4. But if you have a social life, get this one. Forza Motorsport. Okay, this game isn't trying to be the hardcore sim racer that punishes you for breathing wrong. It's a simcade, and a damn good one at that. And yeah, it had its share of bumps and bruises when it launched, but updates have polished it into something far more enjoyable. The handling feels balanced, the visuals are gorgeous, and it's approachable without being brain-dead easy. So, if you come in expecting iRacing level realism, you'll be disappointed. But if you want a sweet spot between authenticity and fun, this game has quietly grown into one of the most enjoyable racers out there. Assetto Corsa. Now this is basically the GTA of racing games, where you can mod it into almost anything. Want to run full Formula 1 seasons with every car and track? Done. Want to replace your car with a literal T-Rex? Yep, that exists, and yes, you need to check it out. Anyway, the base game already nails driving physics, but the modding scene turned it into an endless playground where the only limit is how far you're willing to scroll through mod websites. And if you add high-end VR and ultra-realistic graphics mods, the game becomes borderline indistinguishable from real life. Wipeout Omega Collection. Okay, I know we haven't had a new Wipeout game in God knows how many years, but hey, at least we have this. Anyway, this is a remaster of Wipeout HD and Wipeout 2048, now with modern graphics and VR support, which is great if you've got the stomach for it. After all, it's Wipeout. It's supposed to make you feel the rush of high speed. So, if you're a Wipeout fan and want to experience what it's like to pilot one of these futuristic vehicles, definitely grab this one. You won't regret it. Mario Kart World. Alright, I was actually going to put Mario Kart 8 Deluxe here, but since this game is now the latest hottest kart racer, naturally it gets the spot instead. And yeah, basically everything that was great about Mario Kart 8 is still here, but with some enhancements, and obviously better visuals, since the Switch 2 can handle 4K at 60 frames per second. And I'm just gonna say it, if you like kart racing, get this game. If you're a Nintendo fan, get this game. And if you're simping for Princess Peach, also get this game. Basically, everybody needs to get this game. Gran Turismo 7. Now, this game catches a lot of heat from hardcore sim racers and die-hard fans nitpicking every detail, but if you're not one of them, it's actually fantastic. So yeah, hear me out. Forget the career mode drama, the menu books, or even the online scene. None of that matters if all you care about is pure driving bliss. This game perfectly nails car handling, physics, and presentation like few others can. In short, it's a flawed masterpiece that's laser focused on what it does best, which is letting you enjoy world-class cars in their purest, most gorgeous form. Burnout Revenge. Okay, I'd say this is one of the best, if not the best combat racing games of all time, even without guns or missiles. And some of you younger gamers might not know about this one, but let me tell you, back then, this was the game to play when you got bad grades at school, or when your crush talked to someone who wasn't you. Seriously, there's nothing more stress-relieving than going fast and slamming into other cars, also known as takedowns in the Burnout series. So yeah, I'm not gonna say much else, just play this one, all of you. Forza Horizon 5. Now, this game is currently the top choice for anyone looking for a fun arcade racing and free roam experience. And just like its predecessors, the graphics are stunning, and there's a huge variety of cars, and while the focus is mainly on sports and supercars, it doesn't neglect other types of vehicles. As we can see, the large selection of cars is definitely one of the main selling points here. So, if you're not a hardcore racing sim enthusiast and you don't mind playing a more straightforward fun arcade racer, then this is the best game right now. So do you agree with our picks? Check out these other videos from us and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.